Hi everyone, welcome to Jade Journeys. My name is Natalie and today I will guide you through a 25-minute yoga practice designed to target any pain or tension in your upper back or shoulders. First, I want to introduce a quote that I like by BKS Iyengar. He has a book called Light on Yoga, which is full of beautiful passages and descriptions on what yoga is and its benefits. Yoga is an art, a science, and a philosophy. It touches the life of man at every level, physical, mental, and spiritual. It is a practical method for making one's life purposeful, useful, and noble. As honey is sweet from any part of the honeycomb, so is yoga. It enables every part of the human system to become attuned to its essence, the conscious seer within. Yoga alone enables the practitioner to perceive and experience the world within and around himself, to touch the divine joy of all creation, and then to share that nectar of divine wealth and happiness with his fellow beings. We're going to begin today in a comfortable seated position on the middle of our mat. You can sit onto your heels or with your knees wide. Beginning to draw your shoulders away from your ears and resting the palms of your hands on your knees to ground the energy, or palms facing up to receive energy. And just begin arriving here in this space and this moment. Beginning to breathe deeply. I invite you to take the deepest breath you've taken so far today. Really filling up your lungs with new, fresh air. Then exhaling out any stagnant, dull, tense energy from your system. Extending your left hands towards the side and beginning to bend your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe placing your right hand onto your left ear. Opening up the left side of the neck. Maybe your left fingertips anchor into the mat, or you can keep them floating. We're going to switch sides, hovering our right hand out towards the side and placing our left hand onto our right ear. Feeling the opening on the right side of the neck. Staying connected to your breath. If you can keep your eyes closed, I would recommend you to do so. And then releasing your left hand from the ear, coming back to stillness, and then beginning to draw some circles with your head, letting the nose lead the way, going really, really slowly. Making every little subtle shift in your neck count. And then as you're bringing more energy and awareness into this body part, you can begin drawing larger and larger circles. And changing directions. Again, keeping your eyes closed will allow for more inward feeling into your body. You can pause at any place that feels extra tense and soften into any restriction you may be experiencing. Then finding your way back to center and placing your hands onto your shoulders, beginning to draw some circles with your elbows backwards. then changing direction, moving your elbows forward. Again, you can go slow, really focusing on over-exaggerating this movement. And letting your hands fall back down towards the earth. Just drawing your shoulders up towards your ears, as high up as you can, and then release them back down. One more time like that. And then releasing them back down. Letting your hands come onto your knees. We're going to open up our chest, gazing up towards the sky. And exhale to contract the spine, gaze towards our navel. Inhaling to open the chest. And exhaling to gaze towards the navel, contracting the spine. So kind of a cat-cow movement, but we're in a seated position. Really opening up the chest as you inhale and exhale to contract the spine. One more time. Then extending your hands behind you, interlacing your fingers and doing the same opening but also pulling your knuckles out behind you. Maybe swaying from side to side as you open your chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. Then inhaling your hands towards the sky and exhaling to cactus your arms behind you. Inhaling to lengthen hands towards the sky and exhale to cactus. One more time like that, inhaling to lengthen and exhale to draw the shoulder blades together and elbows behind you. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhaling hands up towards the sky and exhaling to cactus your elbows behind you. Then releasing your hands and bending into your left elbow. Then placing your right elbow into the left and stretching out your right hand towards the left side whilst gazing over your right shoulder. Then switching sides, extending both hands out towards each side and then interlocking your hands behind you, giving yourself a hug. Just holding here for a moment and then exchanging sides or positioning of which arm goes underneath the other. And then wrapping your arms together in an eagle position. Palms of the hands might come together. Beginning to open up the chest. Gazing up and exhale to arch the spine. Inhaling to open, lifting the elbows up and exhaling to bring the elbows towards the chest. Inhale up and exhale down. Releasing and changing the interlock of the hands. The other arm goes underneath. And then beginning to open up the chest, elbows lift up towards the sky, and exhale to bring your elbows towards your chest. Inhaling to open and exhaling to arch your spine. And releasing your hands and inhaling your hands towards the sky and exhaling to place your right hand on the right side of your body, bringing your left hand across, opening up the left side body, gazing towards the left fingers, and inhaling back to center, and exhale, bringing your left hand towards the mat, right hand across, opening up the right side body. Inhaling back to center, releasing your arms down and finding your way onto all fours. Getting ourselves ready for our cat-cows. Inhaling to open the chest, gazing up, and exhale to arch the spine, gaze towards the navel. Moving with our breath here, inhaling to open and exhaling to arch the back. Exploring your range of motion. Maybe drawing some circles, your entire torso, hips, stomach, shoulders, any way that feels good. Finding your way back to a neutral spine and inhaling your left hand towards the sky, exhaling to thread the needle, placing your left hand towards the right side of your mat. Maybe you lift your right leg, coming onto the toes, extending your right hand in front of you or bringing your right hand to your lower back or the inside of the left thigh. We're in a variation of thread the needle here. Really melting the left shoulder into the ground. Left ear sinks deeply into the mat. Just stay with your breath. And beginning to place the right hand into the earth, use it to push yourself up, extending the left hand towards the sky, and then releasing the left hand down and inhaling your right hand towards the sky, and exhaling to thread the needle. Right hand moves towards the left side of the body. Maybe you extend your left leg behind you. Left hand can be extended in front of you. Come onto your lower back or on the inside of the right thigh. Again, don't forget to breathe. It can be really nice to exhale through the mouth and imagine all that tension, anxiety, stress that we store in our shoulders and upper back just melting out of your system, releasing it with a sigh, whatever is weighing you down. We tend to store the weight of the world on our shoulders, to-dos, responsibilities, expectations. Just imagine yourself letting go of all of this. Life really is too short to worry about things that don't really matter at the end of the day, you know? If you're on your deathbed, would it be the end of the world? You can begin anchoring into the left hand and use it to push yourself up and release both hands back down towards the mat. We're going to walk our hands towards the front of the mat and let our chest sink down towards the earth, coming into our puppy pose. You might rest your forehead onto your mat, or like I'm doing here, you might rest your chin towards the mat so that you're gazing forward. Try to align your hips above your knees and keep a slight curve in your lower back. Press down the hands and stretch through the arms while pulling your hips back towards your heels. That should allow you to feel a nice long stretch in your spine. From here, we're going to shift our weight and upper body forward and arrive into our cobra pose. So lying on our stomach, beginning to press into the hands, engaging our back and lifting our chest up. Elbows close to the body, legs engage, and then lower down. Once again, lifting your chest up, open your heart, and then lower yourself down. One more time, inhaling up, and then lowering yourself down mindfully with control, placing your hands as a pillow and resting your right ear and cheek. Just neutralizing the spine here for a moment, placing our left cheek and left ear towards the mat. Then we're going to prepare for our Superman pose. So first we're going to find an inhale and lift our legs up in the air behind us, then lowering it down and extending our hands in front of our head to lift our hands, arms, feet and legs off the floor as high as you can, engaging the back, and then slowly lowering down, letting your right cheek find the mat or the hand in front of you. Then placing your forearms into the ground, anchoring through the elbows and coming into your forearm dolphin plank. Core is engaged, you pin your elbows into your midline, engaging your entire body here. And then beginning to shift your weight up and down, just rocking your toes. Then walking your feet towards your hands slightly and lifting your hips up towards the sky, coming into your dolphin pose. Your heels are striving towards the earth, towards the back of the mat. Explore, maybe bending into one knee at a time. Find stillness here for a few moments, connecting to your breath. And lowering your hips back down, coming into a high plank and then transitioning towards your downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet and lowering your knees towards the ground. We're going to transition towards our camel pose. So coming onto our knees, placing them hip width apart, and then tucking our toes under if that gives us more balance. Engaging through our inner thighs and then drawing our belly in and up. And then beginning to bring our right hand towards our right heel and extend our left hand over our head. And we're going to bring a circle all the way around towards the left side, bringing our left hand towards the heel and right hand above the head. So we're just flowing, coming into a kind of half camel, bringing our left hand to the left heel, opening up the chest, and then right hand to the right heel, opening up the chest, like a dance from side to side. Ensuring that you're pressing the hips forward and squeezing the buttocks and thighs, using your arms to support your weight as you bend backwards. Then coming back to center, getting ready for the full expression of camel, placing your hands on your lower back, palms towards your skin, and beginning to walk them down over your buttocks and then finding your way to your hamstrings, beginning to engage your core, your glutes, keeping your chest lifted and avoid crunching the neck or lower back, maybe finding your heels. You can also rest your hands onto blocks behind you or onto your lower back or hamstrings. Try to maintain connection with your breath and then begin walking your hands back up the spine the way you came into the pose and gently lowering your hips towards your heels, placing one hand on the heart, one hand on your stomach. Just taking a moment here to sit on your heels with a neutral spine and integrate what we just did. Connecting back with your breath, closing down your eyes, and walking your hands in front of you, lifting your knees from the earth and stepping back into your downward facing dog. Pedaling it out or bending into one knee at a time, whatever feels good for you here. And anchoring into the left foot, inhaling the right foot towards the sky and exhaling to step the right foot between the hands, lowering your left toes slightly out at a 45-degree angle, bending into the right knee, finding your warrior one, inhaling your arms up towards the sky, and exhaling to bring your hands out towards the sides, opening the left foot out towards the side of the mat and bending into the right knee, coming into your warrior two. Then straightening your right leg, shifting the left foot slightly closer towards the right, preparing your base for your triangle pose. Inhaling to begin lengthening your right hand towards the front of the room whilst drawing the left hip towards the back of the room, and then twisting your right hand towards the earth or towards the block or towards your leg, and opening the left hand towards the sky. Rotating your ribs towards the ceiling, gazing up or out in front of you. Then begin bending into the right knee. Bring yourself up to a wide-legged stance, interlacing your hands behind your back. Inhaling to open the chest here, turning the toes slightly in, and then exhaling to fold forward. Head and chest drives towards the ground. Maybe you can bring the hands towards the ground too, drawing the shoulder blades together, micro bending into the knees. Focusing on your inhalation, followed by your exhalation. Maybe swaying slightly from side to side. You can explore the placement of your hands. Then bringing both hands towards your hips and slowly begin rising up, engaging your core and spine. Bending into your left knee and finding your warrior two on your left side. Right foot turns out towards the long side of the mat. Then extending into the left leg, preparing your base for triangle. Inhaling, reaching your left hand forward, right hip towards the back of the room. And then bringing your left hand towards your ankle, your leg, the ground, the block, wherever you are. Opening your right hand towards the sky. Chest and rib cage expansive. Breathing deeply. Legs are strong and anchored into the earth. And then beginning to bend into your left knee, coming back into your warrior 2, and then transitioning to your warrior 1 by turning your right toes slightly forward at a 45-degree angle, squaring your hips facing forward, hands towards the sky. And bringing your hands towards the mat, stepping back into your downward facing dog, flowing forward into a high plank on the inhalation, and exhaling knees, chin, chest, Ashtanga Namaskara or Chaturanga, inhaling for upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Just pause here for a moment. And then begin walking your hands towards your feet at the bottom of your mat, coming into a forward fold. You can bring your hands towards your elbows, swaying gently from side to side, bending into your knees as much as you like, really releasing the entire upper body and torso here. Then placing the palms of your hands into the mat in front of you, walking them slightly forward and bringing your feet together, crossing your legs and sitting down onto the mat. Finding a comfortable position, an easy pose. Just place one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach. Just grounding back down, connecting to your breath, to your heart space, to this moment. You may not be able to control the world, but you may learn to control your inner world through yoga. Connecting to your breath, your body, your emotions, your mind, everything that is you and everything that isn't. Placing your hands behind you, sliding your hips forward towards the center of the mat, bending into your knees, lowering yourself all the way down. Spine connected to the earth, hands along your body. Inhaling to lift your hips up towards your bridge, pressing into your arms and the palms of your hands, engaging your glutes. And then finding an exhalation to slowly lower yourself all the way down. Tailbone comes last. Engaging your legs and inhaling to lift your hips up towards the sky again. You may interlace your fingers and press into the shoulders, underneath your spine, lifting yourself higher, and then releasing your hands and beginning to lower yourself down as you exhale. Walking your feet mat width apart and letting your knees kiss each other in the midline of the mat, releasing the lower back. You can place one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach again. Just grounding, holding yourself. And then in your own time, you can begin extending your legs, letting your feet fall open like a book, bringing your hands out towards the sides, taking up space as you begin to arrive in your final pose, Shavasana. Releasing all control, all conscious breathing, relaxing every muscle, every organ, every cell in your body, melting into the mat, surrendering, allowing yourself to absorb and receive all the benefits from this practice. I'm going to end the class today with a quote from Leo Tolstoy. People usually think that progress consists in the increase of knowledge, in the improvement of life, but that isn't so. Progress consists only in the greater clarification of answers to the basic questions of life. The truth is always accessible to a man because a man's soul is a divine spark, the truth itself. It's only a matter of removing from this divine spark everything that obscures it. Progress consists not in the increase of truth, but in freeing it from its wrappings. The truth is obtained like gold, not by letting it grow bigger, but by washing off from it everything that isn't gold. You may stay in this Shavasana for as long as you like. If you wish to come out with me, you can take a few final juicy breaths here. Begin inviting some movement back into the body, extending your hands above your head and finding a full body stretch. Then curling yourself into a little ball, giving yourself a hug, maybe rocking from side to side. Letting your knees fall over to one side, resting your head onto your hands as a pillow. Pausing here. Coming back into this moment. And then finding a seated position on your mat. Lengthening your spine, bringing your palms together, taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up for this practice. Inhale to fill yourself up with gratitude and love, and exhale to finish this class, letting your mind bow down to the wisdom of your heart. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for practicing with me.